Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is a very late video, and mainly I'm only recording it because more for completionist sake. Because I honestly don't have too much to say about the Battle of Ranskoor of Kolos. It's the finale, but it doesn't really feel like a finale, which isn't a problem in and of itself. It's more of the problem that it doesn't. That if you're doing a serialized narrative like this, like Chibnall seemed to try to do, because it seemed that he was trying to, finish the character arcs. One of the biggest problems is that the big character arc of the season was Graham and Ryan, and that was finished last episode. It Takes You Away actually feels more like a final end of the season episode than Battle of Ranskoor of Kolos. Like, you could probably easily switch these two around. Like, and yeah, some people are saying the New Year's special is going to be the finale, which, I mean, okay, maybe, but like that's not really worth it to do a finale. Like, oh, the special is the finale. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work well when you have that being our big. This is the end of the story. We're finishing the story here. I don't think it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work well like that. You really need to have, sort of a decent ending. You also have to have a good quality one. One of the biggest problems with this episode was, well, I can barely remember if you think a lot about it. I know Mark Addy was in it, and he was great. He's always, but Mark Addy is always a lot of fun in what he's in. I love him on Game of Thrones, in the first season of Game of Thrones, and it's a lot of fun. He does a really good job, as his character, who's sort of on this planet. And there's some really good ideas here. I love the idea of the planet that slowly sort of drives you mad because of, sort of radiation on it. That's not necessarily a bad idea. An interesting sort of thing. It could have been worked in a little better, and brought up maybe the Nimsman just a slightly bit better. But it was a good idea. But a lot of the problem is this story is pretty much the pirate planet. Like, that's really all it is. It apes quite a lot from the pirate planet. And I know Douglas Adams is an amazing author. Chris Chibnall isn't Douglas Adams. He doesn't have the type of humor. He can't do the absurdism really well. Tim Shaw isn't over the top enough to be that good memorable villain like the Captain and Mr. Fibuli and the lady in Pirate Planet. It's not, and Tim Shaw isn't that bad of a villain. He's okay here. There's some growth for the villains, but I don't remember him, really. You're not going to be able to remember him after this. That's one of the biggest problems, is that this episode is just wholly forgettable overall. Jodie Whittaker gives a really a good performance. She does a decent job as the Doctor, and she gets to, do some really nice, good stuff. Gets to have a lot of fun with the role, and she's clearly enjoying herself in the role. Same with Bradley Walsh and Tosin Cole. They're, as Graham and Ryan, they are enjoying each other. Yasmin, again, why was she in it? She was just sort of there, I think, to be companion ask questions character, which I think we've come to expect a bit more from our companions than random asks questions character. Like, I think that's just probably her biggest problem. I mean, there's a nice reference to reversing the polarity. She has good chemistry with the rest of the cast. The cast really has chemistry, and I'm glad, probably for Series 12, we're going to have all four of them again. Because that'll actually be fun. Though, for Series 12, we need two-parters, and Chibnall, you can't write 6 episodes of the season. He wrote 60% of the season, pretty much. He co-wrote episode 3, and I hope that doesn't happen again, because episode 3 was great. Rosa was great, but like, the Chibnall era in general has the problem of, so far, just Chibnall's not that strong a writer. He's not like Stephen Moffat, who was chosen on the strength of things like Blink and Silence in the Library and Girl in the Fireplace and Empty Child. Chibnall just isn't. And he's not exactly playing to his strengths. He's trying to do things. And, it's fine to try new things. But honestly, like Stephen Moffat, it became too much. Pumping out six stories a year is difficult. It's a very difficult thing to do when you are a writer and you're writing in a when you're writing in a story. It's one of those things where you have you could have a really good story. Honestly, I think what would help is if maybe Chibnall just wrote the opener and the finale, and that was it. Like, got new writers in. I hope we go back to more two-parters, because I think Chibnall is really good when given space to play. You can see that in things like Power of Three. Like, Power of Three could have been really, really good. Chibnall had a little more space to, go further with it. Hungry Earth and Cold Blood works mainly because it's a two-parter, even if it is just a ripoff of Silurians. Things like that. Things that just... You can't really do them very well when you are in one part. This is why this video is so small, because I don't have much to talk about. It wasn't that interesting. This isn't like a Muffin finale where I'm extremely pissed off, or a Danish finale this isn't one where I can be like, yes, I can praise this. The direction's nice, it looks nice. I don't understand. I didn't really like the whole Jodie, the doctor's like, if you kill Tim Shaw, we can never be friends, and I'll have to drop you off at home because you can't do it. And then Graham just shoots him in the foot. That felt like kind of a cop-out. Like, it was trying to build up some sort of drama, but didn't actually build up any drama at all. Like, it doesn't work very well. And things like that, the episode is bland. It feels, I'm probably gonna forget about it in a couple hours. When I have to go on a panel discussion about it. Ooh, that's going to be a pain. Just because it's not very good. It's okay. It's an alright story. It just doesn't feel like we finished a season. It feels like, this is it. And that's fine, but it's fine for a season not to end like that. And not to try to do a big bombastic ending and make the Doctor pout and make him sad because he's sad because his companions left him. You just need to do something else with it, and that's the biggest problem. I'd probably give Battle of Ranskoor, whatever the hell this one is called. It's worth probably a 5 or a 4. It's not. It's an okay ending. It's not Hellbent levels bad. It's just sort of meh. It's forgettable, and the worst thing that something can be is forgettable.